In this special episode, we hand the mic over to our listeners as they share intimate audio clips about their village, the people that stood beside them, lifted them, and shaped who they are today. From childhood mentors and family matriarchs to chosen friends, these stories, wrapped in love and memory, echo a truth that spans generations, reminding us that none of us travel alone. This episode is a song for the unsung and a celebration of gratitude, honoring the support and kinship that carries us through.
Hey, to all of our listeners, you do us honor, and welcome back again to In Martha's Garden podcast. I'm Tiffany Mentz.
And I'm Nova Caprice.
And we are super excited to be back sharing this space and time with everyone tuning in. If you're here with us for the very first time, we would like to take this moment to say welcome and thank you, not once, not twice, but 3 times for taking time out of your schedule, busy or not, to join our IMG community, and you do us honor. How are you feeling, Nova Caprice?
I'm feeling really good today, Tiffany. I am excited as usual. I'm deep in my creative zone, so I've been working on new content for our podcast, and it's been energizing. And I love how it's all coming together. You guys know I've been on Tiffany's back, peeking over her shoulder, seeing what she's doing. And there's always something new to learn every single week. And so I'm just riding that wave. How about you? How are you feeling?
Nova is trying to earn some brownie points from me.
I love brownies.
I am feeling grateful and just excited to get into this episode. So let's do it.
Awesome. All right. Well, of course, you guys know before we get started, we are going to do a recap of episode 6, The Quiet Goodbye, Grieving Someone Who's Still Alive. And in that episode, we explored the quiet kind of loss, the kind that doesn't come with a fight or farewell. It's just gone. So I shared my story about a close friend who suddenly quit their friendship with me. No conversation, nothing. And we talked about the emotional impact of that kind of ending. And I've learned since we released the episode, Tiffany, that there are a lot of people who felt that particular ache of someone slipping away while they're still walking the earth. And so it was bittersweet to talk about. And I hope that we'll be revisiting this topic later on in the season because this is a type of story that deserves space and reflection. So,
yeah, and we are going to revisit this because we did get a few comments saying that we need to speak more about it. And so we will. Yeah, we will honor those requests. And like you, I shared some of my experience with my friend just quitting me, Nova.
Yes.
And so
we were canceled.
That's right. But if you did listen, we also said that we don't lose, right? We haven't lost.
No.
Actually gained because we are really good people and good friends. And so to not have the conversation with us, to me, is just I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, we will revisit this topic and talk some more about this topic and this episode on friends just leaving and disappearing. So yeah.
Yes. And again, like you said, a huge thank you to everyone who tuned in and especially those who commented and followed us since we started. Your support absolutely means everything to us. And please remember when you're listening, after you're done, like, subscribe, and share. It helps us reach others who might need this space too. So,
Yes, and follow us. Follow us. We need y'all to follow us. People are listening and they're not following, so please follow us.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, it is story time. And Tiffany, I got to tell you, I am just as excited as you are for this next part of our episode. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Let's do it. I want you to take a moment and think about your own village. The people who have shown up for you, shaped you, and stood beside you through the highs and lows. We asked our listeners to share about their village, the ones who made them feel seen, safe, and supported. And what we received was absolutely beautiful, honest, and really deeply human. So now we'll step back and let you hear their voices.
When I think about my village, I have to admit, I grew up with a community of people. I had my maternal side of the family, my Papa Jim, my mother, my Grandma Betty. Then I had my paternal side of the family. I had my Grandma Corrine, my Granddaddy Lawrence, and my aunt, who is older than my dad. However, we were kind of raised like sisters. There was a host of other people as well, but primarily that was my village. And as time went on, they were rooted in keeping me accountable, giving me the best hands-on knowledge that I could obtain. It was kind of like the best of both worlds, which I feel like helps me to adapt to almost any situation. Like I know what it's like to have and I know what it's like not to have. I feel like I had experiences where I was cultured and, just put into different programs where I could be well-rounded. My grandma Corrine was more like the backbone of the operation. My grandfather made sure that he gave us opportunities. He called us his hen house, and he made sure that he gave us experiences where we were taken care of by men. I could be on the other side of the earth, and I knew that if I called my grandfather, he was coming, like hands down, whether it was to change a tire, whether it was to pick me up, whether it was anything, basically. He was a man of few words. When he did speak, though, everybody listened. My grandmother was just a source of strength. My mom, she was young when she had me. However, she also did, her best with her resources. She would come get me on the weekends, and that's when I would be with my Grandma Betty and my Papa Jim. And regardless of what it is that they had, I was always welcomed with them. And to this day, it remains the same. They all come together when it comes to my children as well. And I'm just so happy that I do have the system that I have, or the village that I have. I think it's imperative also to mention, I remember the lessons. I know that I was handled with grace, and some of these things are engraved in me, and I'm just thankful that God saw fit to give me an opportunity to have a village of people who were concerned with my well-being, the well-being of my children, and who just, are reliable. And through whatever, we come together and we find a solution. And I just think, especially in this day and age, that is a gem.
I often reflect on my village and just how thankful I am for every last one of them. When I think about my village, I immediately think about my parents, Richard and Barbara White, who had me when they were only teenagers, but were and still are the most amazing and supportive mom and dad. However, I know that they could not have been the loving parents that they are without my grandparents. I grew up in the house with my maternal grandparents, Alan and Myrtle Simmons, and I was very close to my paternal grandparents, Sam and Jean White. I'm thankful for all of them. I've mentioned that my parents had me when they were teenagers, but guess what? They had my sister, Raven White, about 20 years later. Now, although there is a huge age gap between us, we are a part of each other's villages. Raven is one of my biggest cheerleaders and will do anything in her possibility for me and her nieces and nephews, and I just love her so much. My baby sister, well, she's almost 30 now, but I still call her my baby sister, Raven White. My village also includes my aunts and uncles on both sides of my family, as well as my cousins who I grew up with and I am still very close to. Now, although my village from childhood continues, I developed some very significant friendships in my young adult years, and they are still a part of my village, of course. And I want to shout out two of my dearest friends. That would be Dr. Dion Gavin and Dr. Jamila McDaniel. I love these ladies. They are two of my best friends, and we have been friends for over 30 years. Now, when I started my family, I also had an amazing village of people at the church that I grew spiritually in, and the church that helped me raise my children. That would be Greater St. Peter AME, African Methodist Episcopal Church in the Atlanta area. Those are people who were there for me in a critical time of my life, and I am forever thankful for them. They helped me raise my children to be productive and just great human beings. The church as well as my family. And speaking of children, my children, they are also a part of my village. I have 4 kids, 3 are adults, and I'm extremely proud of them all. Once I started my career as an educator, I developed a village of teacher friends, who I would not trade for anything. And most of these friendships started several years ago at Hapeville Charter Career Academy, where I taught for a little over 6 years. I continue to have a village of teacher friends where I am working now, and these are women who I laugh with, who I pray with, who I cry with. They are a phenomenal group of women, and I'm thankful for them. I also have a health and wellness village. These are a group of women who are encouraging. Oh my God, they are so encouraging. They are so motivating. And we keep each other, or we hold each other accountable. I'm just really thankful for them as we all are on this fitness journey. I do not take anyone for granted who God has put in my life. And I thank him for them every day. And I thank you for this opportunity to share and acknowledge my village.
My name's Carla. When I think about my village, growing up, my support team, it was my mom. My dad died when I was 8. So it was my mom, my mom's sister, and also one of my dad's sisters. So it was my auntie baby sister, which is what we called her, and my auntie Teresa. 2 totally different personalities, but they were my support system. Also, it was my stepdad and all of his friends, because it was like I had enough males in my life to show me love and to make me feel like I can be whoever I want to be. They were always like, be a strong woman, say how you feel, don't
hide yourself. Always make sure that you're seen and heard in a room. So they really gave me the confidence that I have today. My auntie baby sister, which is passed now, she was my protector. And it kind of makes me emotional, but my mom was in an abusive relationship, and she was always the person that would say, come spend the night with me. And so she would take me away from that environment because it was so toxic at the time. It was my mom's first relationship after my dad passed. And it was also my sister, and I had two cousins. Monk, we called her Monk, her name was Michelle, and my cousin Ashanti. If it wasn't for those two as cousins, they were just like my extended sisters. They were always there. They supported me. They loved on me. We shared a lot of experiences. I don't think I would have just made it because I would have been at home, and I would have been by myself a lot because my sister was 8 years older than me. And she tried to spend time with me, but she was starting a family herself. So, and it was really like my cousin Ashanti, and we were like, when we were together, it was like the world, we didn't even see anybody else in the room. It's like we were the room. She lives in Florida right now, and so I really miss her because that was my girl. I knew I love her with everything, but that was my support system.
So you would like to know, what did my village consist of? Well, here's what I would say. The village was a sense of community and pride. Although my parents were the one to birth me, my village consisted of my grandparents. My grandparents nurtured me from an early age. There are memorable times that, their influences impacted how I turned out. Others that I would include in there would be my uncle. My uncles and aunts on my mom's side. Some was right there with me, and others were far away. Those influences, those meaningful moments and times where there needed to be an impact, it was. I guess oftentimes people think the parents are the only ones that really have a hand in how the kids are reared and how they view life in general. But, like I said, my village consists of people outside of my parents. My older sister was part of that village. And to her passing, advice, her being the oldest, we went to her for things. She was more like a parent, if anything, because she was always at the school functions. She was always picking us up. She was always doing things that my parents would normally do, but they did not because they were working. Others that included in that village was the teachers. Those teachers played a huge role in my life from the time I started school to the time I graduated. And still to this day, I still stay in contact with them. It's still nice to reach back and just to ask questions and get the wisdom from them, because that's what you gain as you get older. You still have that connection with them, and you're now gaining that wisdom that you need to walk in your everyday adult life. The village is what molded me. They shaped me. They made me into the man that I am today. My parents birthed me, but it took my parents, my sister, my uncles, my aunts, my school teachers. It took those individuals to get me to where I'm at. This was a profound connection with everyone that was involved. And I'm the link between everybody. So that was the village that protected me. They got me to the point where I'm at. And then for me, as I always tell young people, if If the older people have walked before you, you latch onto them and you stay connected until you can no longer be connected. And that's how I am with my village. My village has been there from day one, and albeit some of them are gone now, but those were the individuals that got me to the point where I needed to be.
My village was built from love and prayer and held together by the hands of those who chose to see, guide, and lift me, Lil Nova Caprice. To the ones who stood in the gap to protect me, you kept me safe, and I'm so grateful and thankful for you. One of my favorite songs is This Is It by Kenny Loggins, and in it he says, "No one can tell you what you know." And so I wanted to send a special shout out to my elders for instilling this mindset in me and the importance of knowledge. My continued desire to learn is a direct result of you pouring into me. And this is from a young girl who dropped out of high school and went back and received her GED. And the things that I know how to do now, it's because I taught myself, or I leaned on someone, or someone took me under their wing and showed me how. So a big shout out to them. To the many neighbors who became my family, thank you for treating me as one of your own. I was safe, I was loved, and I was blessed, and you made sure of it. To my friends who stayed when things got messy and reminded me of my worth when I forgot, you are my mirrors and my sisters. Blood couldn't make us any closer. To my parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts and uncles, cousins, neighbors and friends, every bit of love and laughter, every hard lesson, gentle correction, and moment of grace that was bestowed upon me helped stitch together the fabric of who I am. I will continue to carry your wisdom in my choices, your love in my heart, and your voice in my ear, as I am now the village for someone as you were to me. So when I speak, when I create, when I rise from my ashes, I do so in honor of each of you. I am forever reminded that I am never alone because I am the product of a village that chose me, Nova Caprice.
Sometimes in life, your village isn't your family, not your blood family. So I want to dedicate this to my village growing up, from elementary school to high school, to in my life, to me having my kids, and to still to this day. I just want to thank the people that said yes to me when it was no, the people that went the extra mile for me when it was I didn't have it. And so I met 3 great friends in my elementary years, which was Lakivia, better known as Kibo, Diane, and Latanya, better known as Horn. They was amazing to me. There was a guy named Dot, I'll never forget. He was like my goddaddy. He was one of the guys that just was in the streets, but saw me, saw I was talented, saw I was outgoing, I participated. He wanted to be a part of it. To Eric, BKA Chong, who ended up being my daughter's father. Amazing guy. To Ben Hanks, I will forever be thankful for not only looking out for me, but for looking out for my son. For Vonda, every party, everything she had, I participated in. I won. People didn't know. I was determined to win because I know that was my school money, that was my holiday money. I got paid for performing against others and winning dance contests and just putting on a show. So thank you, Vonda. I want to say thank you to Sharon Parker and her boyfriend, She took me in. She was my coach. She made sure I was good. I want to say thank you to Miss Dean. I just want to say thank you to my sister Sharonda, my brother Courtney. That was my village. My good friend Tiffany and Timothy Barber, Paris, Selena. But every time that there was a no in my life, these people said yes. For every time there was no way in my life, these people made a way. I want to thank Janae. Thank you for opening up your house, your life to me and my kids when it was much needed. People that took the time to say yes, for whether it was huge or it was little. Because most of the time, if I asked for help, that means I really needed it. Because I really always try to provide and strive to do what I can for me and mine on my own. Thank you, God, for always just putting good people in my life to say yes. Shout out to my godparents that saw me, loved me, groomed me, taught me so much. And I will forever be thankful to Annette and Daryl Grice. So those are the people that I feel was the greatest village a young lady could ever come across.
Before we wrap up this episode, I just want to take a moment to honor my village. You are the roots beneath every story I tell, every recipe I share, and every moment of reflection. It's all rooted in the love and wisdom you have poured into me. I love you, I honor you, and I thank you.
Wow. Hearing all of your voices, your stories, your gratitude, your love. It's a reminder that none of us get through life alone. We are shaped by the people who show up, the ones who cheer us on, hold us up, and sometimes just sit beside us in silence. Your village might be your relatives or friends who became family, mentors, neighbors, teachers, co-workers, people who saw something in you even when you couldn't see it in yourself. So if you're listening right now and someone came to mind, someone who's been part of your village, tell them, send them a message, call them, let them know that they mattered and still matter. Because sometimes the most powerful thing we can say is simply thank you. Thank you for being there.
Well, all right. Mama used to say, give me my flowers while I'm alive. And we did that for her. And here we are once again at this very special part of the episode where we give out flowers to those who have loved on us, inspired us, empowered others, shown courage, or accomplished something truly remarkable. To our listeners, the ones who answered the call to honor us with your voices, your stories, and your tributes to the folks who loved on you, fed you, raised you, guided, heard, and saw you. With much gratitude, our IMG flowers are for you. Thank you for allowing us into your world and for trusting this space with your sacred walk. May we all continue to honor the people who shaped us. May we never forget the shoulders in which we have stood on. And may we never stop saying thank you while they can still hear us.
Don't forget to follow us on social media and catch our latest episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For more content, visit our website at inmarthasgarden.com. That's INN marthasgarden.com. And a huge thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in.
Until next time, take care of your people and allow them to take care of you. Mama would be like, tell those people bye. You got to take time for yourself sometimes. Don't you got to get rest?